Okay, we are live on YouTube. Mr. Mayor, the meeting is yours. Let me know if you need anything.
Thanks, Rob. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the regular city council meeting scheduled for tonight, Tuesday, March 9th, 2021. It's a virtual Zoom meeting via the rules of the state of Michigan. Mayor Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mayor Beagle,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Present.
Councilmember Behrman,
Here.
Councilmember Gotcha,
Present.
Councilmember Grenlund Fox,
Here.
Councilmember Sharp,
Present from my home and remotely in Wixom, Michigan, Oakland County.
Councilmember Smiley,
I'm attending remotely from my home in Wixom, Michigan. Here.
quorum
Thanks.
present.
I forgot about that. And the rest of us are from the city, in the city this week?
Yep, attending
Yes.
remotely from Wixom.
Very good. I got excited seeing we could have some in-person meetings and I forgot about that, so.
Also in Wixom.
If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
allegiance
to the flag
Flag
of
the
the
United
United States of America,
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Changes or additions to the agenda tonight as presented. City Manager, do you have any changes?
Mayor, I have no changes nor additions.
Very good. Any from the dais? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. We have one set of minutes to approve tonight. They're the minutes from the regular city council meeting of February 23rd, 2021. Do I have a motion?
so moved.
Or
Do we have any questions, additions, corrections? All right, seeing none, I've got a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting that was held on February 23rd, 2021. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Behrman,
Yes.
Councilmember Gotcha,
Yes.
Councilmember Grenlund Fox,
Yes.
Councilmember Sharp,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Mayor Beagle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Aye.
7 yes.
Thank you. We have no correspondence tonight, so which brings us to the first call to the public. It's limited to 5 minutes per speaker, addressing agenda items only, and those rules are: the public shall address the council during the call to the public. It shall be included on the agenda immediately after correspondence and again immediately after new business. The first call to the public immediately after correspondence shall be limited to agenda items only. A person shall not address the council in excess of 5 minutes unless the time is extended by a majority vote of the council present. Persons wishing to address the council shall identify themselves and their place of residence and shall state their reasoning for addressing the council. All comments by the public shall be made directly to the council. And the procedure for public comment by electronic means is once connected to the meeting, members of the public wishing to participate in a virtual public comment must alert us that they wish to speak by pressing *9 on the telephone keypad. Pressing *9 will activate the raised hand feature, signaling us that you wish to comment. Participants will be called one at a time, which would happen during an in-person meeting. And when you are unmuted, please introduce yourself by stating your name and address for the record. You then have your 5 minutes. Do we have anybody for the first call to the public?
We have 2 phone callers here. We'll give it just a moment to see if anybody raises their hand. Again, press *9 to raise your hand to address the council. No one has raised their hand.
Very good. We'll close first call to the public and move on to the city manager reports. The first one is the fire monthly report from January 2021. We have a question. Anybody got a question for Chief Roberts? Oh, seeing none, the second report is the police monthly report. Any questions for Public Safety Director Moore? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda item are considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the consent agenda and added to the regular agenda at the end of unfinished or new business. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Support.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Godshall,
Yes.
Councilmember Grillen Fox,
Yes.
Councilmember Sharp,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Aye.
Mayor Beagle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Aye.
Councilmember Behrman,
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you. We have no unfinished business tonight, so we'll move on to the new business. New business number 1 is a recommendation to award a bid to Commercial Ground Services of Redford, Michigan for outdoor landscaping services in the amount of $10,023 from landscaping account number 101-751-963.450 and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Very good. Deanna, do you want to give us a brief update on this?
Well, this is a basic contract we've been doing for a long time for landscaping services for all our parks and planting of flowers. We did do a pre-bid meeting. We had 3 bidders attend, but only 1 bidder submitted a bid. She's done a very nice job.
They've done it for a few years now for us, haven't since, what, 2015 or something?
Correct,
around there?
and they've done a nice job.
Very good. Any questions? Councilmember Smiley?
Thank you, Mayor Beagle. Hello, Deanna.
Hi.
I appreciate these, this item and the next 2 have it included the percentage of increase from the previous contract, so thank you for that. And I realize these are low bids, that we award to, but it's still good to see and understand the increased costs of services from contract to contract. This particular bid was up 15% from 2015. Were there any reasons offered for the price increase?
Well, basically, it's been 5 years, number one.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, I figured that played a part in it. I'm just curious, did Wixom's growth play a part in it and
Number 2,
inflation?
we've added more things to the spring cleanup, so there was an increase there. And when we did this last time, just as a point of information, I mean, this came in at 10,000. When we bid this last time, the other bidders came in at 25. So
Wow. Yeah.
it's a very good value for your money.
Yeah, I wasn't questioning that. I just wanted to understand, what more there might be to it. And, I like to, stay aware of why and what things happen.
No.
That's
Very good
perfect.
questions.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I had.
Okay.
Yeah, the flower beds always look nice around City Hall and in front of the fire station, stuff like that. They do a wonderful job. Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I've got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to award a bid to Commercial Ground Services of Redford, Michigan for outdoor landscaping services in the amount of $10,023 from landscaping account number 101-751-963.540 and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Grillen Fox,
Yes.
Councilmember Sharp,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Mayor Beagle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Aye.
Councilmember Behrman,
Yes.
Councilmember Godshall,
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you. New business number 2 is a recommendation to award the contract for the annual crack sealing and seal coating program to Wolverine Seal Coating of Jackson, Michigan for the unit price of $1.10 per pound for crack sealing and 0.065 per square foot for seal coating, with funding allocated from local road capital program pavement preservation account number 203-554-976.393. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Support.
Very good. Mr. Sigma?
Yes, thank you. This is an annual bid that we put out for crack sealing. One of the reasons for doing this annually and not having a multi-year is because this is kind of based on petroleum products and can increase or decrease varying commodity rates that they have for this. So they elect as the vendors to do this annually. One of the things that we did this year was we added a few communities to this. Farmington, we asked from folks from Farmington all the way up into Fenton for this, and we got quite a few communities to go in on this to keep our prices low. And there was a slight increase from last year, but only 1.85% increase. So we feel that, yeah, we've worked with Wolverine Seal Coating in the past, and we feel that this is the way to go this year as well.
Very good. Thanks for going out and partnering with our fellow communities around us to keep our costs down and achieve the economies of scale. Any questions for Mr. Sigma? Councilmember Grenlund Fox?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I also wanted to thank Mr. Sigma for doing that. That's a great idea to get those other communities involved, and it proves to be economical. So thank you.
Anyone else? All right, seeing none, I've got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to award the contract for the annual crack sealing and seal coating program to Wolverine Seal Coating of Jackson, Michigan for the unit price of $1.10 per pound for crack sealing and .065 per square foot for seal coating, with funding allocated from local road capital program pavement preservation account number 203-554-976.393. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Sharp,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Mayor Beagle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Aye.
Councilmember Behrman,
Yes.
Councilmember Gacho,
Yes.
Councilmember Grenlund Fox,
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Don't go too far, Tim.
Yeah.
New business number 3 is a recommendation to award the bid for the 2021 pavement marking program to JV Contracting of Goodrich, Michigan in the amount of $59,156. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Support.
Very good. And once again, Tim, I see that we're partnering with 2 other communities to keep the price down on this. Very good.
Yes, we did ask the same members that from the previous one, but this one, the other communities elected to go different routes on their purchasing of this. One of the things that we do with striping is we have a general idea. Well, we know how much striping needs to be done on an annual basis. The trouble is some of it, for example, on Beck Road where it's recessed, we don't need to do that every year. So we inspect after the winter season to make sure that it's valuable for us to get us through another year. If we do not need the striping, we elect not to do that portion of the striping projects. So the expense that you see here is the maximum, and we hope to do just a little less than that, depending on what our margin or our markings are going to be and the striping that needs to be done. So that's, yeah, those are the annual figures for that.
Very good. Any questions? Deputy Mayor Resnick?
Thank you. Mr. Sigma, in terms of the 7% increase over the year, are these also petroleum based or did they learn something they did last year?
It isn't as critical on the types of product that, from our understanding, based on price, this increase may have been based on the number of vendors that we have available for this. We usually get 2 bids for this, one from another company and then one from this one. And they're kind of the only game in town as far as responding to striping like this. So I'm not sure if the other company had talked with this company or not, but that's, yeah, we haven't really, we haven't figured out, I guess, what makes this number change from year to year.
I was just wondering if the other 3 communities that did not elect to join us in this one, if they went out and competitively bid and got other bids, or if they're going to do it internal.
That there are some communities that do this internally, but for the amount that we need and the legends that we do, it still proves to be efficient to do it this way.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to award the bid for the 2021 pavement marking program to JV Contracting of Goodrich, Michigan in the amount of $59,156. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Mayor Beagle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Aye.
Councilmember Behrman,
Yes.
Councilmember Gottschall,
Yes.
Councilmember Grunland Fox,
Yes.
Councilmember Sharp,
Aye.
7 yes.
Thank you. New business number 4 is a recommendation to waive the bid process and proceed with the purchase of sole source financial software from Belfool Sewer and Associates of Bath, Michigan for utility billing, financial applications, and data conversion and training with funding from water capital account number 591-537-971.410 and wastewater capital account number 590-538-959.413 for an equally shared cost with F&V Operations and Resource Management Incorporated, FVOP, not to exceed $29,890, and authorize the DPW director to sign the agreement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
You're on again, Mr. Sigma.
So it's we call it BSNA because I can't pronounce the what that stands for. Nicely done, Mr. Mayor. The BSNA software is utilized by many utilities in this area because it's local, and 2, because they do have a very good support system here in our area. In finance, we have been utilizing their software since 2014, and we would like to enter into this agreement for our utility billing as well. It was discussed during contract negotiations last year with F&V, and that was one of the criteria we were planning to implement. And we were going to implement it earlier. COVID kind of got in our way for a little bit, but we feel that this is the time to do this. And we feel it's in benefit for the city and staff, as well as our utility operators. So we would like to share the costs of the new software and its implementation and move forward with BSNA for our utility billing.
Very good. Any questions? Councilmember Smiley?
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Hello, Tim.
Hi.
The integration issue is compelling enough of a reason, to make this switch, to BSNA. But a few things I'm just curious about. So BillMaster is the legacy software. Is that our previous water provider? Do they prefer that, or is that something we have dictated? Or
they did predict, or they did desire to have that one. It has been with, they've utilized that one for a number of years. Over the years, we've needed to upgrade that, and it's become costly for that piece.
Sure.
Plus, the support that we have comes out of Colorado, so there's some timing issues as far as when we can get support for that software for F&V. And
Okay.
yeah, this
It's interesting considering the regional issues with the software and finding people who can use it. And then did we initiate this change, or was that FVOP's idea?
we had talked about it during the negotiations, so we've been working on this for quite some time.
Okay, so we're both sides are happy to be
Yes. Yeah.
going with this, assuming we approve it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Good. Councilmember Gotcho.
Thank you. Since we are making this switch, I'm just wondering if it will make things easier in terms of billing, because in the past, we've had some residents complain at meetings and other ones reach out to us individually about administrative charges for utility billing. I'm wondering if that's something that could be done away with this new system, so we aren't charging people to bill them and have their bills paid.
There are some billing functions that we will be able to streamline with this with the software. We're hoping to make that easier as well, but that hasn't been our driving force. So I will make a note of that and work on that as well.
Okay. I don't know exactly what the administrative charges are on bills right now, but I know it agitates some residents because they feel like they're having to pay extra to pay the city for a bill they were sent, and that doesn't feel fair to
Right.
everyone. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Resnick.
On a similar note, Tim, the in terms of reconciliations for Maryland, for the monthly reports and all, this obviously should make it easier because we also use BSNA, right?
Right. That is our hope. F&V will still have to do their own reconciliation on those items, and meter reading, that has been an issue in the past as well. Will although they're F&V are correcting many of them, this will not correct the meter reading aspects of that, but they, like I said, F&V has really stood up and taken that one by in storm. So I think they've been doing a good job on that.
Okay. Very
And
good.
One other thing, that F&V have multiple folks that have utilized BSNA in the past. So there are different support mechanisms that they'll be able to utilize as well with this new software.
Super. And I agree with Councilman Gottschall's remarks about the administrative charges, if we can look into that. So
We will.
All right, any other questions? Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to waive the bid process and proceed with the purchase of sole source financial software from Melthor, Zor and Associates of Bath, Michigan for utility billing, financial applications, and data conversion and training with funding from water capital account number 591-537-971.410 and wastewater capital account number 590-538-959.413 for an equally shared cost with F&V Operations and Resource Management Incorporated, or FVOP, not to exceed $29,890, and authorize the DPW director to sign the agreement. A roll call vote, please.
Mayor Beagle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
aye.
Councilmember Behrman,
Yes.
Councilmember Gotchall,
Yes.
Councilmember Grenlin Fox,
Yes.
Councilmember Sharp,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And new business number 5 is a request to authorize the extension effective March 16th, 2021 of a professional services agreement with Laura Cloutier to provide services for the Wixom Downtown Development Authority as Executive Director for the amount of $45,000 for a period of 1 year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. On board with us tonight is the DDA Chairperson, Vanessa Willett. Vanessa, you want to give us a brief outlook on this?
Sure. We're very excited about the executive director position, and though it's been a tough year, we have fought through and still accomplished helping out a lot of the downtown businesses, as well as participating with Oakland County and being able to help some of the businesses in the city as well, even though it was outside the downtown. We see a lot of growth this year in working with the city and some of the other city departments that we're really looking forward to. We've started those conversations. Steve and his team have been great. Deanna's been great, and the executive director, it's gonna really be able to work with them and meet some more of the KPIs that we are instituting this year, along with the time tracking mechanism, so that we can have a better measure of performance and success in meeting those business objectives that we are going to be instituting as the DDA this year. So I worked with her quite a bit, especially her first day was the first day everything shut down this last year. And Laura made a great effort at making sure to visit all of the downtown businesses, help them with getting grants and funding and PPE to stay open. And I think it was very critical. And I know that the businesses really appreciated it. And I was with her on many of those visits, and they remember who she is and look forward to a great year coming up.
Good. City Manager Brown, do you want to add anything to this?
No, just the, I guess some nuts and bolts to talk about. The contract was originally penned for a 1-year term with 2 1-year options to extend. If the council chooses to proceed with this extension tonight, that would leave us with that 1 additional year that we can extend under the terms of the agreement. And we're looking for the mayor will add his signature to the extension, as well as the DDA vice chair and chairperson once we get approval to proceed. And that should take care of it from a administrative standpoint for this upcoming year. As Vanessa mentioned, there was lots of challenges in place this year with the pandemic starting from day one. It was, to say the least, an interesting and challenging year. I think that our executive director under the contract did a great job in terms of dealing with that particular crisis, and we look forward to more successes in the future with the DDA here as additional opportunities come to light here. The only other thing that I would mention is just again, going back to the financing the position, if the first paragraph of my report to council talks about that. This city still owed monies from an old project that was done in the DDA. We've deferred payment of those amounts that are due to the city out a little bit further to make this position's funding possible. And that's how this was handled in its first year in the 1920 budget. Now it's being handled in this upcoming budget as well.
Any questions from council? All right, seeing none, I've got a motion and a second to approve the request to authorize the extension effective March 16th, 2021 of a professional services agreement with Laura Cloutier to provide services to the Wixom Downtown Development Authority as Executive Director for the amount of $45,000 for a period of 1 year. Roll call vote, please.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Aye.
Councilmember Behrman,
Yes.
Councilmember Gatchell,
Yes.
Councilmember Brennan Fox,
Yes.
Councilmember Sharp,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Mayor Beagle,
Yes.
7 yes.
Great, congratulations, Laura, and we're looking forward to more exciting things coming from the Downtown Development Authority this year.
Thank you, and I as well. Thank you for letting me serve in your pleasure.
Thank you. All right, with that, that closes the new business for tonight. Move on to the second call to the public. The rules are the same with this call to the public, only you can speak whatever's on your mind. And once again, if it's the procedure for public comment by electronic means is once connected to the meeting, the members of the public wishing to participate in the virtual public comment must alert us that they wish to speak by pressing *9 on the telephone keypad. Pressing *9 will activate the raised hand feature, signaling to us that you wish to comment. You'll be called one at a time, as would happen at an in-person meeting. When you are admitted, please introduce yourself by stating your name and address for the record. You have your 5 minutes for your comments. Do we have anybody for the second call to the public?
No one has raised their hand yet. A reminder, press *9 on your telephone to raise your hand to address the council. Press *9. We'll give it just a moment. No one has raised their hand yet.
All right, I'm going to close the second call to the public then and move on to city manager comments. City Manager Brown. Steve, you're muted.
I hit the button but missed it. Sorry. So there is 3 items mentioned in the city manager update. The economic development piece, Wixom-based business Discraft was featured in a Cranes article, which was nice on their part, and a growing recreational activity that they are critical to. And then there's also information on previously inquired about question from council about the accident that occurred on Pontiac Trail. The long story short on that is we are pursuing tracking down the individual that was involved in that accident. And pursuing reimbursement beyond what has already been handled through the insurance company activity that's been provided to our insurance company representatives. They're going to be pursuing subrogation recovery efforts against that individual, and the city will do the same for any costs that have been incurred beyond any insurance recovery that comes through that process. That work will be continuing as we go through the process of finding out what those expenses are, and then also pursuing reimbursement from the person responsible for that accident. And then we also have the good information with John Paranish of the firefighter EMT class that has been promoted. We had a nice memo from our fire chief, Jeff Roberts, about that was included as well. So I wanted to point that out. It's a nice development for the community and for the firefighter in achieving that new promotion. So we say congratulations to John and also to the department for having somebody else with additional capabilities and bandwidth on staff for us. So good news for the city. Those were the only items that I had, Your Honor. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Councilmember Sharp.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have one question. It's maybe more for Deanna McGee. Discraft, do we have any disc golf courses in Wixom? Or holes or facilities?
No. At the present time, no. We looked into doing a disc golf setup, gosh, I want to say 10, 15 years ago, and we never proceeded with it. But at the present time, we don't. It's not an expensive thing to set up if City Council wants to move forward with that, and Parks and Rec both. We can easily do it at one of the parks.
Good partnership opportunity with Discraft, I think.
Yeah, we can look into it.
Thank you.
And another downfall of COVID is usually we have a little celebration with cake when we have somebody move on, and like with Mr. John Paranosh moving on, getting his badge. So Chief Roberts, you owe us one, all right? All right, moving on to council comments. Councilmember Gacho.
Thank you. I wanted to welcome our newest firefighter EMT, John Paranish, and thank him for his service to the city. I also wanted to check in I guess I noticed on the calendar, the Easter egg roll, and whatnot. And I was wondering, now that cases are down, I know we were kind of playing all of our events up until the last minute before we would make a decision. Are we pretty well committed at this point to putting on events for the community with cases where they are?
At the present time, we can have 300 outdoors, I think is the ruling. And so usually our concerts are between 200 and 300. We would have to stage it accordingly, et cetera. But we are planning on moving forward at this time unless something else comes up. As far as the Easter egg hunt, we are planning on moving forward with that. It's arranged differently with car registration, and then we have stations versus all the kids on the field at once. So we've made arrangements to separate them in small groups. So we're trying to move forward with that being an outside event also.
Okay, I appreciate that. That'll be nice. Thank you.
Under the existing restrictions, though, there's a couple events that do have a larger crowd than that 300 figure that are going to be impacted unless something changes for the better. So I think barbecue, hot barbecue and blues and things like that.
Okay.
Correct.
The only other question I had is some communities are hosting vaccinations. I have business out in West Bloomfield near Orchard Lake, and every time I go by there, the fire station there is having drive-through vaccination. I know Schoolcraft College is having one, and some other communities as well. Is there any talk with Oakland County about Wixom potentially hosting something like that?
We talked potentially about whether we thought that was possible with our staff and staff expertise and those things. And initially, we did not pursue those things. That's something that we could revisit with maybe changes in MO at the time when we evaluated it. At that time early on, when the vaccines were first becoming available, it didn't make sense from the standpoint of what would be required of us. But we can revisit that. Perhaps Ron or Jeff can make a comment about that. But we could revisit that and see if there's any changes that would make that possible. So.
I think that might be a nice thought or discussion to have, because I know with now additional vaccinations available, but I keep hearing different anecdotes and stories from residents and other people that are just residents of the Lakes area that they're having a difficult time getting an appointment scheduled. And sometimes when they do, it's like a 2-hour drive, which seems crazy to me. So I was just hoping maybe there are some resources here and at the county level that maybe we can host an event for everyone locally. That's all I've got. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Councilmember Sharp.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have any further comments tonight. Thank you.
Good. Councilmember Berman.
I just mentioned that I was excited to see the sign in front of the Ford Wixom property today, that there's a development coming soon. So maybe they could cut one of those horrible pine trees back or something to actually showcase their sign better. But the sign is up, so I guess that means they're moving forward.
Yep.
Subject to planning commission approval.
Well, the sign's up. Probably slightly larger than allowed, but the sign is up.
Yeah, we had some communication on that, I believe. So yeah, we'll have to follow up on that.
But that's all I have. I'm excited to see that they are hopefully moving forward, subject to planning commission approval.
Very good. Councilmember Smiley.
Yeah, I had lots of residents asking me about it, and it is very exciting. I think we're all very happy that's got some legs now. Other than that, congratulations, yes, to John Peronish, I think you say it like that, on his promotion. And congratulations to Public Safety Director Moore for his appointment as Commissioner on the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards. Another feather in your cap. That's all I got. Thank you.
Councilmember Gremlin Fox.
Thank you, Mayor. I would also like to recognize and congratulate our own Public Safety Director Moore on that accomplishment. And also welcome and congratulate John Paranish. I probably butchered the name, but anyway, congratulations. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Resnick?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and yep, welcome and congrats to John Paranish, however you say it. And you know, the story about Discraft, it's quite interesting to see the diverse number of companies and the different markets they serve here within our city limits. And I can't wait till the Economic Development Director gets on board so that we can start these business connect meetings again in person. I hope that he or she works close with Laura Cloutier and Vanessa on, even getting some of them within the VCA, but also outside the VCA, just so we can go and meet and greet some of these really neat companies we have in this city. So I'm excited that that's moving forward, and hopefully we get some candidates in front of us soon. That's all I have. Thanks.
Yes, and congratulate Public Safety Director Moore on his appointment. And I'd like to congratulate John Paranish promoting his promotion to firefighter EMT. And I'd also like to congratulate one of our own council members, Councilmember Gotcho, who won a top producer award, a diamond award, and a president's council membership from his peers at Real Estate One. Congratulations on your hard work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Was well deserved. And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Very good, guys. Great meeting. Thanks. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Everyone have a good night.